What's up, everyone? Good morning. Well, at least where I am. This is Dr. Charlie PT. Hey, just want to shoot a video today. Just opened up my computer to just an awesome win with inside my private coaching program, the Glute Relief Accelerator program, from a woman named Kaye. And I had a conversation with her recently. I also wanted to share. So that being said, in this video, I'm going to share with you Kaye's story. Kaye is a 62-year-old lady who is dealing with really bad sciatica. I'll show you her homework submission prior to the call. So just to be clear, generally how it works is people are interested in working with me. They click a link, they go to my private application page, fill out private application, and then set up a time to chat with me. I call it a pain-free planning session. Essentially, it's just a time to see if / how I might be able to help. And so that being said, she scheduled the call on the 7th of June, filled out her application, and submitted her case review. I review all cases before I chat with folks. And then we chatted on the 13th of June, and now it is July 5th. And so do the math there, I guess, what, 2.5 weeks, something like that. And she is just doing amazing, totally crushing it. And so I wanted to share with you her story in hopes that you might be able to relate and just know that even if you've tried lots of other things, if you've been watching Bod and Brad, if you've gone to the physician, if you've gotten shots, if you've you've taken steroids or you've gone down that path and you feel like sort of all hope is lost, then oftentimes there is a way out. You just need someone to help you through it. And luckily I was able to help Kaye. So check it out. I first want to review sort of her case for just like 30 seconds or so you can see where she started, and then I'll let her share what she experienced inside the program. All right, so here is Kaye's homework submission. Again, this is just to give you a snapshot of what I reviewed before her pain-free planning session or her call with me to see if it was a fit to work together inside of my program. And so let's just go through so you can get an idea of where she started. All right, so here she is. She had this butt, calf, shin, and ankle pain that went all the way down to her foot on the right side only for just the past 4 weeks, thankfully, because it was really bad. Basically, when I said, hey, what do you think caused it? She thinks it was some gardening as well as lots of shoveling and just lifting heavy things. Didn't have any diagnostic tests, but saw some physicians there, and they didn't really give her a clear idea of like why she was hurting. So they couldn't agree on the cause, although as you'll see in a minute, it was very clear that she had sciatica based off a couple movement exams. She was having some good days, bad days. So if you know that roller coaster of like, I'm doing good, I don't need help, right? And then it's really bad, and then you start to freak out and try other things, then it's good, right? And this is just a physical and mental as well as emotional roller coaster, and she was definitely on it. She had this pain in her leg on the right side, but it was shifting around. So it would hurt a little bit more down the leg and then back up in the buttock, right? So just some kind of funky symptoms as sciatica is known for causing, stressing her the heck out, right? And she had just retired. So you can see here, she doesn't have many things that make her feel better, or didn't have many things that make her feel better. She was literally just taking like hot baths all the time. And she was pretty much bedridden. So sitting, walking, pretty much anything functional she couldn't really do. She got 2 steroid shots as well as some low-dose prednisone, which you'll see she didn't like. And, I had people go through some basic motions. So she has a yucky figure 4 on that size, leg raise and back bend, all which increased her pain. So she has a positive leg raise on that side, pretty much means she has some type of nerve irritation or sciatica. And there was a massive impact on her life. She couldn't do much for herself, sort of was losing her independence there. Painful to drive, couldn't walk around the grocery store, just felt stuck at home, literally was just laying in bed. Even when we chatted, she was there, and she just didn't feel like she was making any progress prior to the program. She had tried lots of different things within that short amount of time. Again, when you start to feel pain, it starts to make you go insane, not you actually as an insane person, but it starts to cloud your judgment. And so oftentimes people try to do more to fix it, right? And this just adds to the chaos. But that being said, she said, hey, look, I just retired. This is supposed to be a good time in my life, and I feel the world is passing me by. My daughter and her family were just here for a visit for the first time in 7 years. I was unable to participate in any of the fun hikes and activities that they did. I was stuck at home. I don't want this to be the way that I live. Please consider helping me help myself through this. And that's how I knew she was a good fit for the program, even before we chatted, because she said, please consider helping me help myself through this. So check out her story. Hopefully it'll resonate with you and pull out the nuggets as well, because she shares some really cool tips in there. Hey, good morning. Good to see you.
This is the real me.
This
is not the person you met the first time.
You look a little bit different, my friend, and you sound a little bit different.
Yesterday was Independence of Pain for me.
Awesome. This is great.
It was amazing. And I didn't realize it. I got up in the morning and I've allowed myself to do a little gardening, a little weed picking. I would get a plastic grocery bag and say, okay, this is all you can do.
Yeah.
And my happy motion was the side twist.
Yep.
And so I would sit on the ground on my pad and I would pull from this way.
Into yummy.
Into yummy.
You voted for yummy.
I voted for yummy. Well, for 25 years, that was my position as a hygienist. And I just, after retiring, I quit doing that motion.
Yeah.
You know, and so I was gardening and I got up and, you know, I'm not 100% as far as strength back yet because I spent weeks on my back.
Yeah.
So I got up and I did that and I did a few things. I felt like, okay, well, I need to vacuum today. So I vacuumed.
Yep.
And then I sat down again for a while. I haven't been able to sit at all without pain.
Yep.
And so I laid back down and about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 2:30, I was like, well, I want to get some lunch, but I don't really have anything here I want.
Yep.
I wanted to go get a burger, which is not like me. And driving is was a yucky motion for me. And so I get in the car and I'm driving in my thug mode, you know, to make it not hurt. Halfway there, I realize I'm not in any pain.
Yeah.
Zero pain.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
And I just started crying on my way to get a hamburger. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is not possible. So yeah. So life is good now. Now I just need to know how to maintain it.
Yep. Yep. Awesome. So, hey, look, I'm really proud of you because I know we chatted the first day. You've obviously been in the program now for, I don't even know what, a few weeks?
2-3 weeks. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So would you say that the program has been successful for you overall?
100. I would recommend this program to anybody.
Cool.
Anybody.
Cool.
I did the Bob and Brad thing. I tried their exercises and honestly, I was in so much pain afterwards. To try to do those exercises again was like pulling teeth. But my family all kept saying, you got to do these, you got to get over this, you know, no pain, no gain. And I literally, I couldn't do it. And I looked on every other website on YouTube and I couldn't find it. And I found yours on YouTube. And I downloaded your video and I was like, this is what I need. This is what I need. I need somebody who understands not to go into pain to do these things, you know. And honestly, my first week at the end of my first week to try all my motions again, I was terrified.
Yep.
Because that first time, I mean, going in through all the motions was horrible for me. It was horrible. And so I was terrified to go through the pain again, especially the back bend. Oh my gosh, that put me into tears.
Yeah.
But so I started with my first motion that I tried was the forward bend. And it just, it wasn't it. So then I tried my second motion, which was the side twist. And that felt good. And so I did my 4 times a day, 3 times 30 seconds. And what a difference. What a difference. You know, I called my sisters. They were, after the first week of doing things with you, my first week was basically learning.
Yep.
you know, learning and all the videos and not going through everything. And every time I had a question, I'd watch the next video, and I swear, it's like Charlie and Heather are talking to me. They're answering my questions as soon as I ask them. It was amazing. It was amazing. I have had the best experience with this ever. You know, I started out with going to my doctor. Well, the first week I tried just resting. I didn't know, you know, looking on YouTube, because I don't have insurance.
Yeah.
And so I looked on YouTube trying to find, you know, things to do. It was just making it worse, and couldn't get into my doctor. And finally I got into my doctor, and she gave me my first cortisone shot, which had also pain medication with it. And I was good for 1 day, or it was probably about a 5 in pain. Good for 1 day. And then it was back. And a few days later, because she gave me a light dose, for about a week later, I go back in my second shot, you know, same thing. Pain level down to a 5. And then I kind of got desperate, and my neighbor across the street works for a physical therapy group. I think he's a director, and they recommended putting me on prednisone for a month, a low dose prednisone that lasted 3 days. It literally made me go crazy. I couldn't sleep. It kept me awake. I couldn't sleep. Dry mouth was horrible, you know, and I was just like, I gotta find something else, you know, and your videos kept coming back and back in my mind. And I was like, you know what? This is the one. This is the one that's gonna help me. And it did. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, it's great to see you like this too. And yeah, there's a big change from the day when we first chatted to now. So I appreciate the feedback, and that's sort of what I do and why I do it, because I get the chance to help lots of people. So yeah, absolutely. And I know in the beginning, right, you know, there's a little bit of a hang up as far as, you know, you said initially, hey, I don't really have the funds to invest in this. So you took a little bit of a leap of faith as far as trying to sort that on your own. So
I did. I had to take a leap of faith. I knew I was going to pay a physical therapist here, or I was going to pay for something else. And it was like, you know what? He specializes in this. And like you said, all the other people were giving the same advice, you know, same exact advice. And there was actually a physical therapist there at my doctor's office. And after he found out that I had taken prednisone shots, he's like, you can't be my patient for 6 months. And I'm like, okay. So yeah, but I kept knowing, I kept thinking, this has got to be it. This has got to be it. This is what Charlie specializes in. Dr. Charlie specializes in this. So
yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, no problem. Thank you. I appreciate you. Like, thank you for trusting me, right? And thank you for putting in the effort, because I mean, how many times since 3 weeks ago have I chatted with you directly?
Just once.
Just once, right?
Once.
And essentially, you've gone through the process, right? And you've essentially found what works for you. Is that fair?
Well, I just kept in my mind, you guys repeated it over and over, trust the process, trust the process, trust the process. And so I was like, I'm gonna trust the process.
So cool. Well, yeah, and I know day to day, because you sent me some emails throughout, right? When you were still like, oh my gosh, right? I hurt more,
Help,
or I'm good, or
help, help. I've never taken so many baths in my life to try to get the pain to go away, but yeah.
Awesome. Well, hey, I appreciate the feedback. And let me ask you this, like, what would you say was like the biggest game changer for you? So you were following a very traditional approach of stretching and trying this, and just obviously chaos and confusion, and not in a very good spot, right? What would you say was the biggest take home and like thing that was most valuable for you?
Doing a stretch that didn't cause me pain, that didn't put me in a ton more pain.
Yep.
You know, that was it. Doing a stretch that literally the next day I felt better.
Mhm.
Not 100%, but literally the next day I started to feel change, and I was like, okay, what else do I do? What else do I do? I'm the gardener that is like the impatient gardener that plants something. And I was like, okay, bring me the stuff now, you know.
Yeah.
And I just, but the thing in the back of my mind, trust the process, trust the process.
Mhm.
So I kept going, and I'm like, okay. And on my second week of doing the motions, all the motions, I literally was afraid.
Mhm.
I and because you said don't test them until your first week. So I was literally afraid.
Yep.
I waited till the end of the day, literally,
Yeah.
to go put them in,
Mhm.
and I did, and I was like, oh wow, I can do back bend,
Yeah.
and it was at a 90.
Yep.
I was like, oh my gosh.
Mhm.
So I kept doing them, and literally on Sunday, 2 days ago, I still couldn't sit. I still couldn't drive.
Yep.
So I was gonna type in and text to you, on my email and say, hey, can we change it from this to teach me how to be able to sit? And
Yeah.
I'm sitting today. I am sitting 2 days later,
Yeah.
but I didn't do it for some reason. And um yeah, I've walked my dog now. Today is day 4, in a row. I get up at 5:30 in the morning. It's just my body that just wakes me up.
Mhm.
And I walked my dog this morning, and I I think there's something, I don't think I'm 100%. I think there's something still lingering, and maybe that's all in my thoughts, because I am sitting here very comfortable at a zero pain, at a zero pain. Now, the other thing that started to happen too was when I was doing it and the pain would come up, it was like interesting. It was almost like it wasn't a pain. It was almost like a pain after a workout,
Yeah.
not the stabbing pain. It was the pain like after a workout. So
Yep. Awesome. Well, hey, I appreciate you just sharing. And again, that's always inspiration for me. Some days when I get a bunch of crap for doing things a little bit outside the box in the field. So when you're a little against the grain, sometimes it's like, oh man, there's a lot of resistance here, but I know it works and I know it can help people. So I just appreciate you sharing.
and that's why I came to you, because it was out of the box. That's what I appreciate so much.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, it's been a pleasure working together so far, and we're just gonna keep moving forward. All right. So, everyone, that is a wrap. So hopefully you got some nuggets out of that, as Kaye shared some big takeaways and things that really helped her move in the right direction. So hopefully that was useful. And look, again, if you're like Kaye and you're struggling, you've tried lots of different things, you're just frustrated and looking for a proven pain relief process, then this is all I do. I don't know everything. I just have a lot of data. So the person with most data as a scientist often wins, especially if they know how to analyze it. Okay, so don't claim to have magic here, but I do claim to have a really strong, proven process that takes people through the exact steps they need to get relief, no matter the situation. So if you're interested in potentially working with me inside the program, obviously there's no pressure either way, but you could apply and submit a couple of questions there, and then set up a time to chat. Again, the book a call link will be below. And I would love to at least have a candid conversation and see, hey, is it a fit? If not, that's okay. I'll just let you know. But if it is a fit, then I would love to help you out, and we can talk about what that would look like, again, inside of the Glute Relief Accelerator program. Thanks so much, everyone, and appreciate you checking out Kaye's story.